And there's much more that we could go into, as you say, since 1948, but I mean, you could literally go back thousands of years. The important point I want to emphasize, though, is propaganda is not education. Propaganda, on whether it's TikTok or in the classroom, is actually the opposite of education. Anybody who is teaching in a university or anyone who is putting content on social media should be held responsible for what they include and what they exclude. And so much of what we're seeing, particularly on TikTok, about what's going on in the Middle East is woefully false, but it's also incredibly slanted, pro-Hamas, anti-Israel. And it is, not any place where anyone should go to get information about complex matters like what is going on there. So we have to do a much better job in trying to, number one, teach history at all levels. That's why I love SUFS, because it's about our history. It's a part of history we didn't all study and learn about. But it's also important that we recognize the propaganda value of social media. People are on social media oftentimes to press an agenda, an ideological, a religious, a financial, a political, a partisan agenda. And so, of course, you don't get the facts. Of course, you don't get any kind of context. And we have to do a better job ourselves, and we certainly have to do a better job with young people in trying to help them understand how to filter and interpret the information they're giving. And I think we also need to do a better job in our classrooms, particularly at the college and university level, not to fall into, easy absolutes. You're either this or you're that. You're for, you're against. Life is too complicated. History certainly is. So I agree that we've got to do something to, stand against a lot of these false narratives. And with respect to my dear friend, Madeleine Albright, she deserves to have anything and everything named for her.
Yes.
She lived the 20th century. She fled first from the Nazis, and then after returning to what was Czechoslovakia with her family, she had to flee the Soviet communists. She exemplifies what freedom means. She demonstrates what a great refuge America has been for people seeking freedom. And heaven forbid, if we don't protect this democracy, this Constitution, our values, our institutions against false narratives, against demagogic wannabe authoritarian leaders, shame on us. But let's not forget people who helped us get to where we are and where I hope we will always be here in this country. And Madeleine Albright was certainly one of those whom I admire greatly. Should be, in my view, repealing something called Section 230, which gave, platforms on the internet immunity because they were thought to be just pass-throughs, that they shouldn't be judged for the content that is posted. But we now know that that was an overly simple view, that if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Truth Seeking Network. I'm back once again. I got another video for you. So today we're going to talk about the so-called misinformation and the ban on TikTok. Now, you heard Hillary Clinton. She said it's a threat to their democracy. So who is she talking about? Because, see, a lot of the things that we said on our pages, the people on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter and on TikTok and all these social media platforms, a lot of us told the truth and we were deemed misinformation. Now think about this. A lot of the truths actually came out because of social media, because of people on their platforms. They came out and people were right there taking videos while the mainstream media was the main people giving us misinformation. And they were calling us misinformation. When we were given the facts, we were called conspiracy theorists. Y'all know what happened to Mr. C-19? We were called conspiracy theorists when we were spreading the truth about the vaccines and the jabs and what was going on. People with their own family members were coming on telling you what happened to them after they took that jab. But no, they were pushing that agenda and see a threat to their democracy. How's TikTok a threat to national security? Why? Because a lot of people on TikTok, there's a lot of truth on TikTok, and most people know that. A lot of these people don't have propagandas, like she just said. We're not against all these, what she just said, all the stuff she just named, pro-Israel or pro-that. People are just telling them the truth. But see, they don't want you to tell the truth. Especially people like her that never tells the truth. She's always been lying. And yet, and then she wants to throw people in jail for telling the truth. First of all, she talking about she's going to hold up the Constitution. Well, the Constitution is freedom of speech. The problem is you can't control the people no more. And that's the problem. Their agendas will not get through. And a lot of things they do are being exposed, like the fires in California or the so-called hurricane floods that happened in North Carolina, where the floods wiped out those towns. People have a lot of information that they have given out beforehand. Some of these things have happened. People are taking videos of things in the sky that's shooting down lasers and stuff at the ground. Roofs with blue lives, blue roofs with blue roofs or something like that, or anything in blue didn't get burned, but then everything else did. So there's a whole bunch of truths out there. We were on social media, we were talking about the poisons in the food. Red 40, yellow dye 50, yellow 6. All these different dyes and poisons and chemicals that the food industry is putting in the foods, but that was misinformation. Now on Congress, now on CNN, they're finally starting to talk about it, started talking about the chemicals that's in the foods. We were talking about a whole bunch of different subjects, and we were called conspiracy theorists. And so did they have an agenda? So if we, in the social media world, if we didn't put our videos out and start telling the truth, and she's talking about history, well, the history in the schools is lies. And everybody knows that. But see, they want to control the narrative. So it's a threat to national security as long as we don't follow what they want. But who is they? Why are these days? How come they're controlling everything? How come a few people are trying to persuade us to believe a certain way? On social media, people can choose what they want to watch when they want to watch it. They can, if they don't want to watch the content, just simply cut it off or turn the channel. People don't, but see, the problem is they want to control everything. And Americans, y'all should be more upset than anybody else because they want to control what you can or cannot do, what you can or cannot watch. The government is supposed to work for the people, by the people, or by the people, for the people, however you want to say it. But they're not doing that. They're creating their own agendas. So it is a threat to their national security if it's not what the agenda that they were planning on doing. If we're exposing some of the things that they're doing beforehand so that we can wake people up. Because a lot of things, again, like I said, that were considered conspiracy theories actually was the truth. And now, hindsight, after everything happened, a lot of things that people said actually came true. And especially with Mr. C-19, the agenda that they were trying to push in. But people fought back. People on social media, and these were doctors. These were people with PhDs and scientists. They was not going along with the narratives that social media gave us. Excuse me, that mainstream media was giving us. They were using their celebrities and movie stars to come at us and say, hey, we should take this certain thing. There's foods in this country that are banned in most countries around the world. But they put it in the foods here for the US citizens. And we're getting all kind of diseases, sicknesses, and everything. They're GMO in the food. Made videos about them cloning the meat. They're making their own meat, some kind of lab-grown meat they're creating, and they're selling it to the public. I had one video that was taken down. Now y'all haven't got to see that one. But it's misinformation. See, I wasn't allowed to speak against what they were doing. But as long as their agenda was what they want, to follow their agenda, then you're okay. But if you speak against their agenda, then you have propaganda, misinformation. And so she wants to throw people in jail for talking about they should be held liable. For what? People have freedom of speech in this country. Protect the Constitution. And that's why Facebook now is coming back. They coming back with their platforms now, and they're getting rid of the misinformation. A lot of things that mainstream media was talking was really misinformation. But they were saying that, oh no, we in social media, we were the ones that was giving misinformation to the people when we were only presenting the facts. Just like I do on this channel. That's why it's called the Truth Seeking Network. But a lot of the truth you weren't allowed to put out. And you have to be careful of the words you use in videos, because if not, your video will get taken down. And so many social media people know what I'm saying is true, especially on YouTube. They know that. That's why other sites like TikTok was created. And they want you to believe that it's a national security because the Chinese people running it. When you watch TikTok, how's it a threat to national security? How's TikTok a threat to national security? Unless it's not going for the agenda that they're putting out that they want us to follow. Because a lot of people on TikTok is telling the truth on many different subjects. And so now if they take over, if they ban TikTok and it becomes a US controlled TikTok, trust me, a lot of the content will be wiped out. It won't be allowed anymore. It'll be a totally different content, and I mean a platform, and y'all gonna want to leave anyway. Then a lot of people gonna want to leave, but it's time that the people, the American people, should be able to put content out, and they should be able to speak on what they want to speak on. As long as it's not, now we're not talking about pedophiles and putting stuff up against children and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's sick. But we're talking about people should be able to put their platforms up, and it should be the choice of the people if they don't want to watch it or if they do want to watch it. If you want to watch it, just fine, subscribe to the channel and watch it. If you don't want to, just go watch something else that suits you, that you want to look at. But it should be your choice because it's the Constitution. It should be freedom of speech. And you should not get banned for saying a certain word or a certain thing on your content. It's ridiculous. So many good channels were banned or blocked, and they were actually speaking a lot of truth. Because all you got to do is do the research, and you find out what they're saying was not misinformation. You will find out what's actually fact. Just like if I go to school, she was talking about history. If I go to school, they're not going to tell the true history of this country. They're going to say my people were just slaves, that they brought us here from Africa. Is that misinformation? Yes, by the mainstream media. Because they already know that we did not come from Africa, that we were already here. But they'll never tell that truth. The narrative they want to push is that they brought us here, they enslaved us, they beat us, they hung us, we did all these other things, and we were just slaves. And we was always bottom feeders. But that's simply not the truth. We are the Aboriginal, or what they call the Aboriginal Indigenous Americans, as I stated and showed in my previous videos. I also talk about the Bible. Am I doing misinformation? Because mainstream, everybody believes in Jesus. Everybody got churches. All this whole country got churches on corners with crosses. Everybody believing in Jesus Christ. So what did I do? I broke the Bible down. I showed you that the Jesus thing was messed up or was created. They created it. They give you what you believe in. But people have a choice still to watch my video or don't. Did my video stop the churches from going on? No. Is it there for people who want to know the truth? Yes. Because all they got to do is get the book, get your Bible, follow along, and let's see if I'm telling the truth or a lie. And I'm coming directly out the Bible. Am I giving misinformation? No. Does my history jive with the history that America teaches in their schools? No. So TikTok. The Supreme Court today upholds the TikTok ban. And so now we're going to see what Donald Trump is going to do. But we got one company wants to buy it for $20 billion. They're trying to give China an ultimatum. If China either sell it or ban it. Sell it to us or ban it. But again, if they sell it to the Americans, it's not going to be the same anymore because they will have full control. And the question I'm asking you Americans, I don't care if call yourself white, black, I don't care, whatever, Chinese, Asian, whatever you are. If you're an American, you should have freedom of speech. As an American, the government is supposed to work for us, not tell us what to do. That's what it should be doing. But this government seems to wants to tell us what to do, when we can do it, how to do it. And they have their law enforcement, everybody all set up, ready to go against you, ready to throw people in jail for what? For telling the truth. You're gonna throw people in jail, Hillary? Why? Because they thwarted your agenda that you was coming, a threat to your national security, a threat to what you deem as democracy. The American people are the Americans. They are America. So therefore, the decisions on what they want should be in their hands, not yours, not a few people in DC. And I hope America really wakes up because this is tiresome. People putting out information, showing you truthful things, but they don't want you to see it. So you could be there at a scene and you can actually film the video, and it could be multiple people filming the video. But when you hear from the mainstream media, they're telling you a certain viewpoint. But when you go to YouTube or you go to Twitter or you go to some of these sites, the people are showing the real video, then everybody getting to see the truth. And they say, hold up, that's not what they said on the mainstream media. Because we're seeing the whole thing now. We're watching it from other angles where other people showed the same video, but now we've seen what really happened. But that's a threat to them, though. It's a threat because see, they want to spin the narrative that they want us to follow. And I'm glad so many people exposed the C-19. I'm glad a lot of people are out there putting out the truth because they saved a lot of people's lives from that disaster. And they're still spreading it today, Mr. C-19. So many people were forced to take something in order to keep their jobs. They came out with free donuts. They came out with what? A joint for a jab. They were giving out money for people who would take it at first, all the way to the last point. If they couldn't get enough, they went after your jobs. And that's not misinformation. That's exactly what happened. Either do this or lose your job. And they know that most people need the money. And they knew that most people couldn't afford to not pay their rent, their mortgages, their medical bills, and whatsoever, their house, car notes, whatsoever. So a lot of people did something they didn't want to do. And this is supposed to have been a free country. It should have been always your choice to do. If you decided you wanted to do that, then you should be able to do it if you wanted to. And if you didn't want it to, they should have left you alone. People have a choice. That's what freedom is. Freedom is choice. If you don't have choice, you don't have freedom. And so they want to control the narrative and put what they want, the people in power they want, and they want to ban certain content so it won't be shown anymore. So what's the point of having social media if people can't put out their truths? And if people also have the right to watch or not watch it. And they also have a right to do the research to see if the people are telling them the truth or not, don't they? We don't need fact checkers. We don't need government fact checkers to tell us the facts of things. We don't need them to do it for us. We can do it ourselves. For those who want to do the research, we will do it. And we will find out the truth. And we will see who's telling us the truth or who's telling us the lie if we so choose to do that. But it shouldn't be up to anybody else to do it but ourselves. So by banning TikTok, I mean, a threat to national security? No. A threat to their agendas? Yes. Because on those places, a lot of people get a lot of truthful information, and the people put it in there on their content pages so you can go look the stuff up. So they act like that we all brainwashed people that if they don't control the narrative, then we listening to all these other people. Now they can't control us anymore. Why? They want to control you, but they can't control you. Why? Because you're seeing the truth. So now their agenda can't go forward like they want to. And it should always be that way. Nobody should have a control over your mind. Your brain, your mind is the most important part of your body. It controls everything you do, your thought process. And you should always do your research. You should always look stuff up. You should do it. Don't ever believe social media or mainstream media. Always do the research yourself. And then you should be able to choose your choice, what you want to believe or not believe. That's up to you. And no government in the world should tell you what you're supposed to believe and follow us, and that's it. That's a dictatorship. And that's not what we want as Americans. We want to be freedom of choice, and if we could choose, just like me, I navigate through the internet. I watch what I want to watch, and if I don't want to watch it, I keep moving. It's that simple. And so it shouldn't be a threat to anyone because we all have a choice. But we don't need to follow everything that's on mainstream media. I'm sorry, mainstream media, you don't have control of the people no more. And then they showed that in this last election. You can get your movie stars, you can get your entertainers, you can get your dancers, your singers, and you can put all those people up there and they can endorse this person or that person. But people now are hip to that. People are not going to follow that anymore. People, because some entertainer or some superstar that they like voted one way, don't mean they're gonna persuade everybody else to do the same. We're not gonna do it. We're smarter than that. And it's a shame that y'all thought we were that stupid. So that's your problem. People have woken up, and it's not the woke movement like y'all said. Oh, we woke. Y'all just trying to use that, and then you twist it around. No, people are waking up because they're doing the research. And they're seeing the agendas, what's being played out. They see these chemtrails in the sky. They see the planes spraying the junk every day, back and forth, and nobody says nothing about it. They're spraying the skies with these, you see these thick white clouds that's turning into these fake clouds. What the heck are they doing? And why are they allowed to do it? Weather modification is real. It's not misinformation. GMO in the food is not misinformation. Because they are doing it. They're messing with the seeds, right? Genetically altering the seeds. That's a fact. Putting out genetically modified mosquitoes. They're doing it. You can look all this stuff up. It's not a conspiracy. And there's so much more. But anyway, this is the Truth Seeker Network. I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in real quick. As far as America, you have a right to the content that you want to watch when you want to watch it. You have a right, also have a right to your freedom of speech. It's up to you. And you should be able to make your own choices. To do or not to is up to you as the American people. It should be a few people up in whether it's the Supreme Court or whoever up in DC telling us all what to do, what we can or can't do. I don't know what happened, but some things need to change in this country because American people are suffering. They are suffering while you're sending money to these other countries. You got America is flooded with illegal aliens. They're actually getting the jobs. That's not misinformation. I went to the Home Depot the other day. Couldn't even get any. I asked for just a help for a little thing, for some water lines. And somebody from another country came up and they couldn't help me again. They had to get somebody, a brother came in, he had to go call him over, and he was telling me, showing me everything. I'm like, who's giving these people these jobs? I was at Walmart and I went up to another lady. She told me no speak English. She can't speak English. So what's she there for? Who is she there for? They're giving these people the jobs. I'm not giving misinformation. And I know a lot of people know what I'm saying is true. So something has to change. You got a lot of illegals coming into this nation. They're giving free money. They try to say that was misinformation. But that's fact. Why Americans are struggling. Then they got the nerve to give the people in what did Joe Biden just announce? Oh, in California, he giving them $770. Are you serious right now? So their whole areas got wiped out. These people lost everything, and you're gonna give them $770. What did you give with the people in North Carolina? What, $750? And then they tried to say that was misinformation. And then I think they were supposed to pay that one back. And a lot of people didn't even receive it. And they're still going through it. But they give all these other countries hundreds of billions of dollars. And you make that make sense. Now, how do you think the American people feel when it's our taxpayer dollars that we're working for, that our monies is going to other places? But no, that's misinformation, right? See, their agendas is not the American people agenda. And that's why the American people are turning to social media, because there's a lot of truth in social media, because there's a lot of truth networks out here that and they're putting on the facts too. They're putting it on receipts. They're showing you the facts. They're showing you what, like, for instance, like what Hillary said. The stuff that came out their own mouth, not twisting anything. They're playing their whole video showing exactly what they said. Now, how's that misinformation when we play in the whole video that what they said to come out their own mouths? All right. So yes, the TikTok ban, they want to take it over, or either the U.S. wants to take it over, some companies want to buy it out, or if they're telling China that it's going to be banned totally. So, like I said, a lot of American people got platforms on TikTok. A lot of American people are making a living on TikTok. So who are you hurting in the end? You're not hurting China. You're hurting a lot of these American people. American people, once again, are going to get hurt because a lot of people are making money on TikTok. A lot of people platforms on TikTok. People are selling a lot of their goods and services on TikTok. And the reason a lot of people went to TikTok because YouTube was banning people. YouTube wasn't letting people be free to give their information. And that's why they have sites like Rumble and BitChute, some of these other sites that came up, because people were being banned or weren't allowed to say or put information out without it being taken down or getting a strike. And so it's freedom of speech. What is the mainstream worried about? If mainstream, do you put your mainstream stuff out there? Keep doing what you're doing. And if people want to watch you, let them watch you. But at the same token is social media, let them do what they're doing. If they put out content and they got a following, let people follow them. That's their choice. But if you want us to dissuade the people to go a certain way or persuade people to go a certain way, and follow you only, that's a dictatorship. And only listen to information y'all give out, because the truth is a lot of information the mainstream media has given us has been false. That has been the misinformation for real. And it has been proven over and over again. So to threaten to arrest people for telling the truth, that's against the Constitution. How can you speak for the Constitution when that's really speaking against it? People have the right to pursue happiness and the freedom of speech. They have that. Y'all supposed to be working for the people, by the people. Y'all supposed to be working for your constituents. They're the ones that put you in office. Not for you to get rich and you control everybody and make laws in the middle of the night while people are sleeping against people. But though you should be there on the behalf of your constituents. That's why that's why you were in there in the first place. That's why all of y'all up there, you're supposed to be representatives of the people. But instead, you're doing your own agendas. You're making your own laws. And a lot of things are against the American people. You're raising taxes. It's crazy. And that's not a misinformation, that's fact. You're doing it. So do something to help the American people. That's why you voted up there. And it's up for the American people to vote y'all out too. America, wake up. Y'all should be able to watch and do what y'all want. Watch what you want to watch. If you don't want to watch it, turn the channel, just like on a TV station. Just like when you got on your TV set, there's a lot of bad things on TV. There's a lot of things that children should be watching on TV. You turn the channel on, you turn your channel on TV, there's so many sex scenes that's going on. So many killings that's going on every day. You can just flip through the channels. You got little kids sitting right there. The content is right there in the open. But people on their TV still, they get to choose what they want to watch or what they don't want to watch. That's up to them. All right. So this is the Truth Seeking Network. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace till next time. I'm out.